and this class we're going to discuss some important questions that might be asked in the exam with respect to National Curriculum Framework on School Education NCFSE 2023. Good evening, Ramya and Sanidhi. So should we wait for others or can we start? Good evening, Bhagyashri. Good evening, Ramya, Gandharvini. Good evening. Yes, Pariksha, good evening. Okay, so hoping that maximum number of you have joined, let us start today's class. Once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's session on teaching aptitude. In today's session, we're going to discuss questions on National Curriculum Framework on School Education, NCFSE 2023. So shall we start? Shall we move on to the next question? The first question, I'm sorry, next question, I say. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you for the confirmation. Let us move on to the first question. Yeah. So the question number 1, I'll read the question for you. Yeah. What is the primary purpose of National Curricular Framework for School Education 2023? To mandate private school fee structure, to provide a framework for curriculum development, pedagogy, and assessment across school stages, to conduct national level entrance examination for higher education, to standardize teacher recruitment process across all states. Discussed before also. This is a pretty straightforward question and most of you are already started marking B. And why this question is again put here is because we need to understand the primary purpose of the National Curricular Framework for School Education, that is to provide framework. In yesterday's question, when we were discussing about why education is in a concurrent list and how that impacts the implementation of these curricular frameworks at state level, we were just saying that these frameworks are suggestive in nature and it is up to the states if they want to implement it completely or some part of it, whatever it is. Okay, so the primary purpose of NCFSE 2020 is to provide a framework for curriculum development, pedagogy, and assessment across all the school stages. That is the foundation stage, preparatory stage, middle stage, and secondary stage. All the 4 stages. Any doubt regarding this question?
No, sir.
Okay, we'll move on to the next. Slowly the questions will start getting trickier, so hang on. Okay, the next question. NCFSE 2023 is explicitly aligned with which overarching education policy in India? I'll repeat the question once again. NCFSE 2023 is explicitly aligned with which overarching education policy in India? National Policy on Education 1986, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan SSA, National Policy on Education NEP 2020, Right to Education Act 2009. Yes. So Shreyan, Sanidhi, Rajata, Shreya, Pariksha, Sakshi, Bhagyashri, Gandharvini, Priyanka, Pooja, Sandra, all have marked C. What about others? All of them think that NCFSE 2023 is explicitly aligned with NEP 2020. Others? Okay, I'll not waste much time. You all are correct. Option C is the right one. NCFSE is developing curricular framework based on the recommendations given in National Education Policy 2020. There is no difference between curricular or curriculum pariksha. No need to get tense about that. They are quite similar. The use of the word depends on the context. You can use the curricular or curriculum when you're making a statement and it is context driven. Then we separate these words. Otherwise, they have the same meaning. Okay, Pariksha? Okay, yes. We'll move on to the next question then. Yes. The pedagogical approach advocated by NCFSE 2023 emphasizes a shift from rote learning to what kind of learning? Memorization focused and competitive, option A. Option B, experiential, integrated, and inquiry driven. Option C, teacher centric and lecture based. Option D, uniform and content heavy. So yes, as most of you are focusing, please remember the words experiential, integrated, and inquiry. These are three major words that both NEP 2020 and NCFSE are talking about. Okay, so whenever you are hearing these terms experiential and inquiry driven, suppose the options include discovery based, the options include, some other way of learning, uh, which are also correct, but the most advocated one, the pedagogical approach that is primarily advocated by NCFSE 2023, which comes through the recommendation of National Education Policy NEP 2020, is experiential, integrated, and inquiry driven learning. The pedagogical approach should be experiential learning, integrated learning, and inquiry based learning. Okay? Any doubt in this question? Do you have any doubt in this question, my friends?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Go on to the next one. Next question. NCFSE 2023 recommends a significant change in board examinations. Which of the following is a key reform? Abolition of all board examinations for reduced stress, making board exams mandatory for all subjects in grade 9 and 12, allowing students to take board exams twice a year with best score retained, shifting board exams entirely to online multi-choice format. Yes. With respect to board examinations, which is the key reform recommended by NCFSE 2023? Yes, so as all of you have posted option C, it is the correct response here. NCFSE is not talking about the abolition of board examinations or making it mandatory for class 9 and 12. So option A and option B are not correct. Then NCFSE is also not talking about making board exams completely online. So as we had discussed in the last class and we had discussed while we were discussing the policy, that students will be allowed to take board examinations twice a year, and some states like Karnataka are giving them 3 chances as mentioned by you people. Shall we move on to the next question? So the correct option is option C here, allowing students to take board examinations twice a year with the best score retained. Yes, we'll move on to the next question.
Sir,
Yes.
NCERT is for curriculum, right? Why is it talking about examinations also?
See, examinations is also a part of curricula, Pariksha.
Sir,
Examination is
yes,
yes,
sir,
yes.
yes, sir.
Go ahead, Pariksha. Please
Sir, I
ask.
thought it's only about framing textbooks and not how the examinations will go on.
No, see, in curriculum, teaching, assessment, and the learning experiences all are part of a curriculum. Okay.
Okay,
So
sir. Yes, sir.
assessment is also a major part of curriculum which we cannot take away. So here we are. That's why we are also discussing assessment. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Chinmay, you want to ask something?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, it is fair to give 2 chances for a student to attempt board exams in a year.
Chinmay, even I have some specific opinions related to what you're asking. I agree with you, but then this is not the platform for us to discuss that because uh, that is a debatable situation, and we can have a session on that if you all are interested. We can have some session someday on a Saturday or Sunday where we can put forward our views and discuss it out, what is correct, what is wrong. But here we are discussing specifically what the policy has suggested. Okay, and the questions that will come in exam will be based on this. I know what the question that you're posing is of some degree of importance, and we have to ponder upon it. But at present, this is what that has been suggested, and we have to go through it. If you all are interested, you all can let me know, including Chinmay, so that we can put a session for that. Have I
Okay.
changed already? Because many people are putting. Okay, something is wrong is happening. Okay. I'm sorry, the question is already up and people have started answering. I'll read the question for all of you once again, even though some have answered. What is the proposed approach to subject choice and flexibility at the secondary stage as per NCFSE 2023? Strict segregation of academic streams, science, commerce, and arts. Option A. Option B. Reduced number of elective subjects to ensure focused learning. Option C. Flexibility to choose subjects across different groups, promoting interdisciplinary learning. Option D. Mandatory study for all core subjects up to grade 12 without options. We know that option D is wrong because a lot of options are being provided to students. Then option A and option B are also not appropriate because we are not planning to reduce electives, nor we are doing any academic stream segregation. So option C, flexibility to choose subjects across different groups, promoting interdisciplinary learning is the correct answer. Any doubt regarding this question? Does anyone have any doubt regarding this question, my friends?
No, sir.
Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Yes.
Yeah.
Rajata, you can mute. I think you are unmuted. No issues. Okay. NCFSE 2023 emphasizes the importance of holistic development. What does the holistic development primarily refer to in students? Achieving high academic scores in all subjects, developing only cognitive and analytical skills, nurturing physical, social, emotional, cognitive, and ethical aspects, specializing in one academic area from an early age. Yes, so everyone has started putting C as the correct answer for this question. And I think this question is pretty straightforward because when we are talking about holistic development means the overall development of a child psychologically, physically, socially, emotionally. Okay, so the overall development of a child is considered. So here, physical, social, emotional, cognitive, and ethical aspects is the correct answer. Yes, thank you, Managna. So the correct answer is option C here for this question. Any doubts? Any doubts regarding this question?
No, sir.
Okay. Next question. Which of the following best describes the role of Bagless days as promoted by NCFSE 2023? We had discussed this in the class. Which of the following best describes the role of Bagless days as promoted by NCFSE 2023? Days when students come to school without textbooks for self-study. Days dedicated to vocational exposure, internships, and engagement with the community. Days reserved for online learning without physical attendance. Days when no teaching or learning activities occur. So most of your skewing towards option B, Manogna, Shreya, and Rajata, Priyanka, Sanidhi, Bhagyashree, even Jharana, Pooja, Sandra, Manya, Pariksha, all of you have marked option B as the correct one.
Sir, why it can't be A?
Why?
It could be option A, so no, sir.
It could be option A also. I agree with you, Chinmay. But then if you'll go through the policy document, they have very clearly mentioned when we are talking about bagless days that students are coming to school without bags, but then that day is specifically dedicated for different purposes. That is vocational exposure, giving them exposure to different vocational activities that are present, right? Vocational streams that are present that students get exposure to, internships, right? And engagement with the community. This is very specifically stated by NCFSE 2023 with respect to bagless days. Okay. Is it clear? So option B is the correct option here. Though option A sounds right, that days when students come to school without textbooks or self-study, right? Here, textbooks is fine. When they are talking about self-study, there where you should get, the clue that this is not the correct answer because self-study is not something that the bagless day is talking about. right? Without or with, they are not talking about. This Bagless Day is specifically dedicated to vocational exposure. Can you give me some examples of different vocational streams? Can you all give me one example of different vocational streams, please? Yes, I think you all are searching. Okay, handicrafts, agriculture, yes, Shreyan and Pariksha are correct. What else? Finance, yes. Carpentry, very good. There's a school in DMS in RI, which is no in every RI has a school called DMS, demonstration school. Those school are meant for RI teachers to go and experiment on them. Not exactly experiment. I mean teach them and learn the process before they go to school and teaching. And they have carpentry with them. Yes, weaving is also correct. What else? Others, please participate. Vocational streams, different vocational streams. What do you mean by arts? Question mark, Gandharvini? Could you please elaborate? Can anyone tell me what do you mean by vocational streams? Pariksha and Shreyan can also shed some light on it. Cooking without fire. Okay, that's a interesting topic that is there. Engineering and healthcare, community services, graphic design, photography. Yes. Can someone please tell me? I know you are giving a lot of explain. I know painting. Yes. Yes,
Might be
painting.
like hard skills.
Sorry,
So it
Pariksha,
might
for
be,
interrupting you. Can you please start now?
so it might be like hard skills.
Hard skills. Shreyan has put in chat box, vocational training refers to instructional programs that focus on skills required for specific job functions or trades. Now, one more question I would like to ask you based on this question is, from which class are they advocating this? Does anyone know the answer? In Bagless Day, they are talking about giving students exposure to vocational internships. Yes, it's class 6th. Gandharvini and Pariksha are correct. It's class 6th. Shreyan, the question can be specific to the class and you have to say class 6th. Right? So, as Shreyan very rightly posted here, vocational training refers, see, the main purpose of providing vocational, Jharna has asked in the chat box, does vocational exposure include financial literacy? Yes, but it does include financial literacy, but then Jharna and others, vocational education, what does it mainly focuses on? See, most of the students might not continue their education after class 10th. And if the students have exposure to vocational education such as carpentry or weaving or any other that you all have posted here in the chat box, the student will be able to make a living out of it. That is the main purpose of providing vocational or skill-based education. Yes, as Pariksha has put in chat box, by learning the skill, student can get some employment. The main purpose of providing vocational education is that. Gandharvani asks, sir, does it including coding and decoding and many other computer programs also? Gandharvani, to some extent we can say yes, but then they are not specifically for helping students, enter the job-oriented world. But now coding has been added, included as a major vocational course that has been provided in most of the schools. So yes, I would say coding is also a part of it. And computer programs can also come there, like graphic designing, all those. Yes, Gandharvani, you're correct. Any other doubt here or any other point you have to make? Yes, my friends. Long, loud silence. Idiom. Yes. Okay, Shreyan is asking, sir, what happens? What is the meaning of internships? Sending students to different, places. They can visit a factory, they can visit a particular workspace, and trying to know how things work there, how the functions take place can be a part of internship. Or going and working in a particular place for specific purposes can also be internship. Is it clear, Shreyan? Specifically, when we talk about internship at school level, it's more of a visit kind of thing where you go and try to understand the organizational structure and how things work in a particular place. Thank you. Thank you for asking that. Any other doubt here for this question or related to this question that is popping in your head? Please ask. Please don't be delulu that your question is too stupid to ask, to be asked. No question is stupid to be asked. Please ask your question if you have any. If you don't have, Chinmay, please.
Sir, the main difference between National Curriculum Framework and NEP.
Main difference between National Curriculum Framework and NEP. See, National Policy on Education is a overall policy that gives major recommendation gives major recommendations and sets goals that by this year, for example, NEP 2020 is setting goal for 2030. So they are saying that in the next 10 years, we are going to make so many changes. We are going to bring these many changes. And National Curriculum Framework, based on the recommendation of the national policy, will prepare, suggest a curriculum that all these things can be done, all these activities that can be done, all these assessment techniques can be done. So National Curriculum Framework is prepared based on the recommendations that are given by a national policy. That's why if you see, after every national policy, a curriculum framework comes. Okay, National Curriculum, National Policy on Education 1986, National Curriculum Framework 1988, right? National Policy on Education, then again 2000, 2005. So these curriculum frameworks are suggestive curriculums for all the states based on the recommendations given by national policies on education. Clear, Chinmay? Any doubt?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So NCF always comes after a policy, and NCF, what they do, how to implement this policy, they will give a curriculum. They'll suggest a curriculum to the nation. Any other doubt for this question? Or related to this question, or any other doubt? So when was RTE Act enacted? Can anyone help here? When was RTE Act enacted? Shayan is asking.
2009.
2009, Chinmay? No, 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 no. I'm asking you the specific date. The act is known as, she is asking, his question is very specific. What Shayan is asking is, when was it enacted? The date. Yes, yes. It's April 2010. Okay, though the whole, what to say, right to education policy or the act, sorry, it's not a policy, it's an act. Right to Education Act came in 2000, was proposed in 2009. It came into an action in April 2010. Shreyan, is it out clear? Why I asked Shreyan, I'll also tell you why I asked others to answer this, because we had a specific session on RTE and it was mentioned, the date was also mentioned there during the presentation. And I'm glad that most of you are able to remember the date. Shall we move on to the next question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes. Now, the next question. NCFSE 2023 proposes learning standards for each stage of school education. What is the main utility of these standards? To rank schools based on students' performance, A. Option B, to provide clear benchmarks for what students should learn and achieve at each level. Option C, to standardize teacher salaries across the nation. Option D, to determine eligibility for higher education admissions. So most of you are spamming with option B in the chat box. What about others? Yes?
So what is the meaning of benchmark?
Benchmarks means a particular standard that is to be achieved. Okay, a particular standard that is to be achieved, that is called as the benchmark. For example, if you take the examples of car safety, we say Volvo is the benchmark for car safety. That means it is the standard that everyone is trying to achieve for car safety. It was a rough example, Shreyan. I hope that made sense for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So all of you are correct. It's option B, to provide clear benchmarks for what students should learn and achieve at each level. That's what learning standards talk about. So if a question is given in a reverse way, also you should be clear. So to provide clear benchmarks for what students should learn and achieve at each level, NCFSE proposed what? Right? Then they'll say learning outcomes, learning objectives, learning standards, then something like all of the above. So you should be very clear that it talks about learning standards, not objectives or outcomes. Clear? Okay, I'll take your silence as an S and I'll move on to the next question. Yes. What is a primary shift in assessment practice recommended by NCFSE 2023? Interesting question. What is the primary shift in assessment practices recommended by NCFSE 2023? From formative to summative assessment, from competency-based to fact recall assessment, from primary testing facts to assessing core capacities and competencies, from continuous evaluation to single year end examinations. Option D is cut off. Option D is clearly cut off. Option A, from formative to summative assessments, and option B, from competency based to fact recall. Yes, all of you are correct. It's option C, from primarily testing facts to assessing core capacities and competencies. What option B is doing here is option B is flipping. It is saying from competency based to fact. No one will go from from the higher level. We discussed Bloom's taxonomy, if you are able to remember. Competency based always ranks on the higher order thinking. That is, what are the top 3 levels of Bloom's taxonomy? Can anyone recall for me? Yes. What are the top 3 levels of Bloom's taxonomy? Bottom is remember.
Evaluation, synthesis, and analysis.
Evaluation, synthesis, analysis. The sequence is jumbled. Come on, think about it. Gandharvani says evaluating, analyzing, applying.
Creating, evaluating, and analyzing.
You have to go from bottom to top. Pariksha, good attempt. I'll tell the bottom 3. Remember, understand, and apply.
Analyze, evaluate, and creating.
Yes,
Analyzing,
correct.
evaluating.
Yes, it's analyze, evaluate, and create. Analyze, analyzing, no difference, Pariksha. Don't worry about that. It's analyze, evaluate, and create. So when we're talking about competencies, competency means when we are able to apply a skill, right? When we are able to master something, that is a development of a competency. So no one will go from competency based to just fact recall. No one will come down from higher order to the lower order, remembering, understand, and apply. So option B is wrong. You might get confused and put option B, but most of you have not got confused here and you put correctly option C, that is starting from primarily testing facts, that is a remember stage, to going to the competencies, which is the higher order. Okay? Any doubt regarding this question? Okay, Sakshi has asked me, can you explain option A? Option A is formative to summative. That is the practice that we are having right now, Sakshi. We conduct FA1, FA2, FA3, FA4. After FA1, FA2, we conduct SA1. After FA3, FA4, we conduct SA2. That is the current system that is being practiced. And NCFSE 2023 is talking about a shift from this current system. Do you agree, Sakshi? We had the same system in school, right? If you have studied in a CBSE school, it is FA1, FA2, SA1?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Any other doubts here? Please ask doubts. Okay, based on the silence, I think there is no doubt. I'll move on to the next question then. Yes. Okay, I have discussed this. No issues. NCFSE 2023 aims to integrate vocational education from which grade? 1, 6, 9, 11. Yes. I'm really sorry. I discussed this in the previous question. I forgot that I added it as a question. You all are correct. It's option B, grade 6. Vocational education, NCFSE 2023, grade 6. If a question comes, NCFSE 2023 aims to integrate what starting from grade 6. Then your answer should be vocational education. I'm just giving you a context. I know the question will not be framed exactly like that, but I'm just giving you an idea. Yes, so moving on to the next question. Okay. The framework promotes the integration of Indian knowledge systems. What is the major objective behind this? NCFSE 2023 promotes the integration of Indian knowledge systems in the curriculum. What is the major objective behind this? To replace modern scientific knowledge with ancient texts, to selectively incorporate Indian contributions to knowledge and thought into the curriculum, to make Sanskrit the compulsory language of instruction, to reduce the influence of global education trends. Yes. All those who have answered in the chat box all have said option B, that is to selectively incorporate Indian contributions to the knowledge and thought into the curriculum. You all are correct, is option B. We see Indian knowledge system that is being promoted through NEP 2020 and NCFSE 2023 does not talk about replacement of modern scientific knowledge with Asian texts. So option A is cut off. Option C, nowhere Sanskrit is being promoted as compulsory language for instructions. Option C is also not correct. And to reduce the influence of global trends, no. What is the major goal of IKS, or when we use IKS? One of the very famous quote that comes when we talk about IKS or Indian knowledge system is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Have you all heard about it?
Yes.
Yes. So our Indian culture has always talked about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam?
So the whole world is a family.
Yes, the whole world is a family. So now the Westerners are, advocating, pushing and talking about global citizenship, global education and, go globe as a family. We have been talking about it since time, since a very long time. So we are not promoting to replace modern science or influence global education trends. Okay, the main purpose of IKS is to include the contributions of the Indian knowledge to specific context or content based situations or examples. Clear? Any doubt with this, or shall we move on to the next one? Any doubts? Okay, we'll move on to the next. Yes. NCFSE 2023 advocates for increased student participation in classroom activities. Which of these is explicitly mentioned as a benefit? Primarily to reduce student workload, to foster essential language, communication, and reasoning skills, to complete the syllabus more effectively while ensure overall learning, to make classroom quieter and more disciplined. Yes. NCFSE 2023 advocates for increased student participation in classroom activities. Yes, it is advocating. Among the advocacies, which of these is explicitly mentioned as a benefit in the curricular framework? To reduce student workload, to foster essential language, communication, reasoning skills, to complete the syllabus more effectively while ensuring overall learning among learners, or to make classroom quieter and more disciplined. Option D is wrong. We all know that. Option C, to complete the syllabus more efficiently while ensuring overall learning. See, NCFSE nowhere talks about completion of syllabus. Please keep this in mind. NCFSE 2023, nowhere in the curricular framework talks about completion of syllabus. So, if you're coming across any statement which talks about completion of syllabus, you can be assured that it is not. But somewhere they might trick you by using the word syllabus and adding something extra to it, which makes sense. So be careful, be smart. If they are explicitly focusing on the syllabus completion anywhere with reference to NCFSE 2023, that option is not correct. And option B, yes, most of your mark to foster essential language, communication, and reasoning skills is explicitly mentioned in the curricular framework, which you all have marked, which is correct. Okay? Any doubt regarding this question? I'll take your silence as no, and I'll move on to the next one. Yes. How does NCFSE 2023 addresses the issue of high stakes associated with board exams? By making them entirely optional for students, by allowing multiple attempts and considering the best score, by introducing only oral examinations, by focusing solely on practical assessments. Okay, again, option B is being spammed. The button B or the letter B is being spammed in the chat box. But to all of you who have spammed option B, can you tell me why option A might not be correct?
The optional could mean that a student can take it, or if they don't wish to take it, they cannot. Like they can choose not to take it, which is clearly not stated in the curriculum framework.
Thank you, Shreya. Thank you so much. So I think it is clear for all of you. Option A is a little tricky, but nowhere in the curriculum framework it is mentioned that you can or take an exam or you can just skip the exam, which is not true. Rather than letting you skip the exams, they are allowing you to have multiple attempts and they are also allowing you to consider the best score among the attempts that you have made. Yes, Gandharvini correctly said, board exams cannot be optional, but it is essential. Thank you. We'll move on to the next question. Okay. NCFSE 2023 stresses. Shreyan, I'll let you know regarding the mock test. We'll have a discussion regarding that because I'm not sure what is being asked in the mock test. What we can do is we can have a session where we'll only discuss the mock test and we'll try to find out the correct answers. There might be some confusion regarding the answers that are marked. No issues with that. We'll correct it out. Okay. Shall we move on to this question? Yeah. NCFSE 2023 stresses the importance of arts education and physical education and well-being. What is their status on the new framework? Okay, NCFSE stresses the importance of art education, physical education, and well-being. What is the status in the new framework? They are considered extracurricular activities only. They are given renewed emphasis as school subjects on par with others. They are optional subjects for students in grade 11th and 12th. Their teaching is limited to specialized schools. Shreyan says option C. What about others? Still figuring out? Take your time, no issues. I'll read the question once again for you. NCFSE 2023 stresses the importance of arts education and physical education and well-being. So, with respect to it, what have they talked about or what is its status in the new framework? Okay, Gandharvini says she's not sure, but option B, no issues, no issues. I'll read the options for you. They are considered extracurricular activities only. They are given renewed emphasis as school subjects on par with others. They are optional subjects for students in grade 11th and 12th. Their teaching is limited to specialized tools. So what I'll do is we'll play a small Kaun Banega Karodpati here and I will give you 50-50. I'll remove two options from here which are not correct. Option A, they're considered extracurricular activities only is not correct because we have seen that they are promoting it. Yes, Shreyan says I had physical education as an optional in my school. Even in my school, I had Shreyan. Then option D, the teaching is limited to specialized schools, which you all know is wrong. So 50-50 is done. Now the confusion is between option B and option C. Most of you are embarking for option B. Most of you are looking at option B. Yes. Those of you who are saying, okay, those of you say, I think, or I'm not sure, or maybe, for them, I'll not ask, but those of you have marked specifically option B, can you tell me why option B and why not option C? Priyanka says, please explain option B. I will. Okay. So I'll not waste much time of yours, and I'll start explaining. Please listen carefully. In the previous session, when we were discussing about this arts and other things, yes, they are optional subjects which you can include. But the term optional there does not suggest that they are just given as option. Okay, they are being added for a specific purpose, right? And if you are going to learn arts with mathematics at grade, higher education also, like for secondary education, it's not like they're just kept for namesake. No, I know that we had subjects like physical education or other subjects which were for namesake. I would like to ask Shreyan, as he has put here that physical education was an optional in your school. Shreyan, did they give a lot of emphasis on physical education when they included it as optional? I'd be very happy if you unmute and speak if it is possible. Meanwhile, I'll read what Gandharvini has posted in the chat box. She says, "Sir, these days children suffer with mental health issues without engaging in any physical activities. So it might made them as a subject on par with other. This made me to guess it as B." Okay, she has given an explanation why it is B. Shreyan, are you there?
Yes, sir.
So I would like to ask you, was physical education given importance similar to the other subjects like maths and physics or whatever it is in your school when they gave it as an optional?
No, sir.
Yes, same is my case also. When physical education was given as an optional in my school, they did not give emphasis. They just conducted a small activity in the last phase and then they gave us marks. Whereas NCFSE 2023 specifically talking about if if these subjects are provided, if the arts education, physical education, and well-being subjects are provided with other subjects, they have to be taught with equal emphasis. Okay, so option B here is most appropriate because NCFSE is clearly stating that whatever subject is offered at any level of teaching at a school level, whatever subject is offered, it should be offered with equal emphasis, with equal weightage, with equal importance. Let it be art, let it be music, let it be mathematics, let it be physics, chemistry, or whatever it is. Clear for all of you? Pariksha also says, so for holistic development, the above is required. Yes, Pariksha, I completely agree with you. Can you please give me 1 minute? I have to take a call. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry I had to take that call. So I hope you all are clear with what does NCFSE, where does NCFSE stand? What is their stand when they talk about importance of art education and physical education and well-being as a subject that has to be offered to students with other subjects, right? Their main thing is that equal emphasis, equal importance will be given to these subjects on par with other subjects, other school subjects. Clear all of you? Any doubt here? No? Shall we move on to the next question then?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. This is the last question. What is the core principle behind the no exam till class 2 recommendation within the NCFSE 2023 context? I'll read it again. What is the core principle behind the no exam till class 2 recommendation within the NCFSE 2023 context? To delay academic rigor and formal assessment, to reduce the burden on young children and foster a positive attitude towards learning, to encourage self-study without teacher intervention, to completely remove any form of evaluation in early childhood. Yes. What I'll do is, wait a minute. Yes, you can still put your answers in the chat box. I'll do a small correction. I know this is too late to make a correction, but I'll make it. Can I share my screen? Yes, I'm sharing my screen. Yes, I have made a small modification to the question. Please read it. What is the core principle behind no exams till class 2 recommendation within the NCFSE 2023 context? To delay academic rigor and formal assessment, to foster a positive attitude towards learning, to encourage self-study without any teacher intervention, to completely remove any form of evaluation in early childhood. So most of you are still marking option B. Yes, option B, option B, option B, option B. Okay. Let me explain the core principle behind no exams till class 2 that is recommended within the NCFSE 2023 context. See, to delay academic rigor and formal assessment. Yes, formal assessment is something that is being delayed here, but then the purpose of no exams till class 2 is not to delay academic rigor. Academic rigor means their interest in academic, the performance in academic. That is not the main purpose. To delay it among learners is not the main purpose here. When we go to option C, to encourage self-study without any teacher intervention. Yes, to encourage self-study without any teacher intervention is correct. But here the option nowhere talks about examinations. Okay. Or it talks about assessment. So to encourage self-study without any teacher intervention is not a major recommendation, because teacher intervention is must when it become to form a foundational and preparatory stages. Please remember this. NCFSE and NEP 2020 strongly recommend teacher intervention for the foundation and preparatory stage students. So self-study is something that is not recommended or encouraged. Yes, it is something that students are allowed to practice. To some extent, it is encouraged, but not exactly. Intervention means teaching. Intervention means teachers support, teachers help, teachers teaching in the classroom, teachers support. Okay, Sanidhi? Intervention means teachers support. Yes, yes, someone unmuted and wanted to ask. Please continue. Yes? I'm sorry. I think it was a mistake then. Yes. Sanidhi, are you clear with the term intervention?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Sanidhi. Okay, okay. Yes. And to completely remove any form of evaluation in early childhood is not the purpose or the principle behind no exams till class 2. The major one is to foster positive attitude towards learning among learners. Because what will happen once we start, giving exams to students at what will happen? Any idea? What might happen?
They will feel like a burden or a heavy.
Okay, they'll feel like a burden. I agree. Exams might always be felt like a burden. Okay, what else might be the reason? Yes, Chinmay.
They lost interest in learning, and they may quit their future education due to the exam stress.
Okay, okay. When they go higher, and as assessment increases, you're saying that it may help a student drop out. Okay.
Sir, it will not make them truly curious about learning. Even if they want
Okay.
to study, it will be in an exam point of view. They want to study for the exam, not for learning the knowledge.
Yes, yes, agreed, Shreya, agreed. Thank you for that. Any other reason? I have one more reason in my head. If someone says it, then it's fine.
So when they are graded or given marks, they might doubt their abilities.
Very good.
Like
Great.
if they
For
get
marks,
low marks, they
there.
might be like not good like others or something like that.
Yes, 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 agreed. My point is somewhere similar to what you have said, but you have beautifully articulated it, Pariksha. It creates a sense of competition among students, and even if they are scoring good, and if some student is scoring 1 or 2 marks better than them, it creates a sense of competition among students, and that is not something that we are encouraging at a early learning stage. And Chinmay and Shreya have also put forward their viewpoints, which are also correct. So with this, we will complete today's session.